Okay. It is 5:31. We can start our meeting today. So there is call
I will call the roll call, starting with Chair Etmod,
here.
Vice Chair Gupta,
Here.
Commissioner Farren. Here. Commissioner Fong.
Here.
Commissioner Mujica is absent and Commissioner Nogues.
Here.
Thank you.
Is there any oral communications from anyone?
I'm seeing none.
Okay, then it's my turn to give you a brief chair report. I wanted to report about our concert in the park, which went beautifully, very nicely. So from the Parks Department, Fire Department, the Police Department, the ARC, and all the people were all wonderful, and they really enjoyed it. As far as I know, they had sold 400 tickets. So I'm not sure if all of them were present or not. But that is a report that Judith Ward has got to give us. And I wanted to thank her very much. She really worked hard for it. And so that, well, she is a PASP. Anyways, it went very well. Everybody was very happy with that. And some people arrived a little late, but they found out that he was going to perform in other places. So they left for that. We have to write a thank you note to the donors. We've had one donor that you had, the foundation. We still need to write a nice letter, or if you want me to buy a card and we can send a card, I could do that. So we can write a thank you for their contribution. Then the MOS went well, as you know. There are some artists who are willing to do shows here, and one of them, hello. One of them, Maddox, maybe Deborah Maddox, she sent me an email and she said she's very willing, and I promised her that when we get the 2025 together a little bit, then I will get in touch with her and give her all the information. So she was very happy to do it. We'll talk about our present show. And Fran Hall was, I think, we did invite her if she wants to join today. But since she's not here, she probably won't. I talked with Lee, and she had talked with Greg Chanis. What they're going to do is to create a plaque for her service, and then it can be given to her in one of the in this room. It will be given to her by the mayor or vice mayor or whoever is willing to do that. So that would be a good thank you for her. We have already given her flowers. I don't think it is anymore necessary to do anything else. So it is up to you if you want to make a decision on that, it's okay. Then the Artist Laureate project that I had mentioned, to have a wall upstairs. It is the wall next to the elevator upstairs. So we have talked to Greg Janis. He has given his consent that we can use that wall for small work that the ad hoc, which is me and Commissioner Fong are going to talk about, is small works of the past ones, and we leave space, of course, for the future artist laureates. So that is my report. Then we can get on with our agenda. So we have a couple of action items. The first one is about artist laureate. We have ad hocs, so please give us a report on that. Please, thank you.
We've already given you all the materials.
Okay,
And so the only thing we needed to do was to put dates in the timeline.
exactly. I was talking to Lita Lena about that. So we don't know whether we do it in June or in July after, or maybe in August. What do you think? Because it is summertime, people are not around much. One thing, I'm not really sure if I read it or not in that letter, was to mention this wall we are creating to all the artist laureates. That would be a permanent appreciation from heritage and arts to the future. So it is a good incentive to add that to the letter that you're going to send around. I think August probably would be a good time to do that.
Chair, do you mind if I just review the
Please.
proposed timeline? So the chair mentioned we're approaching summer now. You know, summer vacation and people aren't in town so much. So we thought it might be better to open the application period on August 1st and close it August 31st. So it's open for the whole month of August. And then you'll use the month of September to do your regular screening. And then hopefully we'll end up actually making the appointment at council at some point in October. So I realize that's quite a distance away at this point, but I think that you would be better served waiting until August or the fall to open your application period.
Does everybody agree with that?
Yes, I think that's a better time. I mean, now it's it's essentially June 1st, and I don't think we're going to get the applications in.
And could we have it with the addition of what I suggested? Do you agree with that, my suggestion of mentioning the wall that we are
Sure.
creating?
Do you mean,
Be a permanent
do
wall.
you mean in the application agreement or in the letter is fairly brief?
Letter
He's
is,
asking for,
yeah, wherever you think that
Wherever
it
they-
is more effective
Yeah, yeah.
to them, because it's the first time they're getting this letter or this.
Okay, can you, well, I guess I can just draft a couple of lines and I can run it by you to see if.
That would be
if
good,
that's okay.
yeah, I trust you. You know, you will do very nicely, so with that. So do you want to take a vote? Would you like to? You can make a motion. Who's going to make a motion? Would you like somebody?
I will move to have the application.
Could you speak?
Oh,
to-
sorry.
I move to have the group, well, the commission accept the application packet as it's constituted with two exceptions. One is that it be amended to reflect the dates that we still need to agree on. And also to include that somewhere in the application itself, the fact that there will be a dedicated space
What is-
in the town hall on the gallery level to place a piece of artwork, small piece of artwork by each artist laureate in perpetuity.
Second,
Yeah,
second
I-
the motion.
Yeah, that's good. First, second.
Good. Went through.
All in favor? Any
I,
opposed?
Aye.
No, no opposed. Thank you.
I just wanted to mention about the wall that you're saying. I think it's very important. It's not such a big wall. In few years' time, it would be full. It's very important to say that the artwork of the artist laureate has to be really tiny. Because if they, the one that you're mentioning, in like 4 or 5 years' time would be full.
I think Azita makes a good point. Maybe we can put some language to say not to
Yes.
exceed
Certain number of inches.
10 by 10 square inches or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
Probably
we
12
haven't
by
decided on
16.
that. 12 by 15 or,
I said
No,
small.
no.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
12
So,
by
so
15.
I think what we would have to do is, as each laureate comes up for their
We'll see
term,
what kind of work.
we'll
they
see
do.
what
We'll
kind
see
of
what
work
they
they
have.
have, and we'll
Okay.
say, hey, it's got to be this size.
we
But
have to say not
Not
wider,
exceeding
wider
12
than
or 10 or
18
10.
inches.
I just
Oh,
think,
no.
I think we're
18
getting
inches-
to, I'm with.
Surely
Norma.
18 inches is large.
I know,
I
I
thought it
think,
should be not exceeding 12 inches.
Um,
You
max.
can't have,
Makes a good point.
I think it's, should be small.
Different work.
Yeah,
yes,
What is a
I
small
understand.
work for, one could be tiny,
yeah,
another could be,
yeah, they only do large.
No,
yes,
but
we have to.
you know,
bring
an
up-
artist can do any size. They can do a sort of a, representative of what they usually do in a small, because that wall would be 4 or 5, then you want to do where? I mean, it cannot just go,
Yeah, maybe we should just leave it general saying.
10 by 10 or no larger than 10 inches wide or
something
Or-
of that.
or
yeah.
12 inches.
One of one of the artists' work will be selected by the commission for the town.
That's.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah, that's fine.
Yes, a small piece that is selected by the.
That way
commission.
we'll decide, we'll tell them if it's too big.
I know,
Yes.
I know, that's a great, yeah. Okay,
you agree?
yeah.
And
Okay, that's good. Now, the next, we were going to talk about, what happened here?
So did we agree on the timeline?
Well, that's the thing,
The timeline, we have to agree, yes.
but we only have 2 dates, the application process and closing of the process. And the layout of the timeline has other dates.
yeah. I think we should change the application to reflect what I think it was a good idea by Lee for August, and then with the ceremony in October and the selection in September.
So then the last date should be changed from September 24th
Right.
to whatever the October meeting date is,
The
correct?
end of August, we were talking about.
Are you
No, no.
looking at this
But I
page?
Yeah.
think 30 days
So-
is a very short.
The
Sep-
deadline is August.
September 24th. That would be the H and A makes the recommendation, and then on the second page, I've got October TBD
I didn't see the second page.
as the council meeting.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And I think there is still some room in here that if you need a little bit more time.
Okay.
That allows H and A to take a little bit more time, and perhaps it's the second October council meeting, which is why it's October TBD.
Wow.
So you have a little flexibility on that. I think the important part is that tonight, May 28th, you're approving all the documents.
Right.
And then it's going to open August 1st and close August 31st.
Okay.
So those will be the really important dates that you want to make sure you're all in
I think
agreement
that's
on.
fair enough.
And that's in
I,
the,
don't you think it's a short time, that 30 days? Because in the previous years, in 30 days, we would not get you know.
I think we could probably, at this time, maybe notify like the ARC and put a little blurb in there, say, entry opening date is August 1st, closing, more info.
And maybe on,
Contact Lee.
yeah,
or
maybe on the
something.
Tiburon letter as well,
Yes, yes,
doing the
absolutely.
media outreach.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't wait until August 31st to advertise. We can put it out. But like I said, we're starting to get into the summer, so we want to make sure that
Yeah.
it's actually open during.
It'll help the
Yes.
artists if they're
During
interested,
the
start
summer,
gathering
yes.
their portfolio. And are we gonna be getting to the draft timeline?
that's what we were.
That's
Oh.
what we're doing.
Well, I think under the page, I think we should just, the special committee is comprised of previous laureate, 2 HNA member. And I think we need to remove Jolly's and Azita's name.
We need to pick who that will be.
Well, I think we'll just leave it blank.
Yeah.
Select, yeah,
Get to that in August or something, I suppose.
and maybe I would say the immediate pass laureate.
Could you please talk to your,
Oh. I would include the immediate pass laureate, means the previous laureate. And remove Charlie and Azita's specific names.
yeah?
Sure.
So just to be clear, the action item itself says consider approval of the call for artist laureate applicants, which we've done, right? Approve the timeline, which sounds like we're doing, but it does say appoint selection committee. So we want to
Oh.
defer that.
Let's defer.
Okay.
Done?
Okay.
That's good. Okay. The next one is the Public Art Selection Panel. So we have reviewed recommendations, but we would like to hear about recommendations of the ad hoc. So who would like to?
Maybe we can read the
Yeah,
staff report.
Yeah, I'm
think
happy
we'll
to
ask
read the
them
staff
Like to
report.
read the staff
Staff
report?
report.
Sure.
Yes.
The Public Art Selection Panel, AKA PASP, is a standing committee of the HNA. It was set up a few years ago with the purpose of reviewing public art proposals and projects. Earlier this year, you appointed an ad hoc subcommittee to study the mission of PASP and make a recommendation as to whether or not it should remain a separate legislative body, or if public art, the sort of public art review pipeline could be done differently. The committee has met, and I will just read through what their recommendation is. The ad hoc recommends that complete public art proposals should be reviewed by the HNA during their regularly scheduled public meetings. And I have regularly scheduled on here, but I just want to clarify. I only mean that as part of your regular agenda process, that includes special meetings, of course. During your public meetings, and passed as a separate body should be dissolved. The HNA should develop clear written guidelines for how to submit a complete public art proposal. The guidelines should include a checklist of all information to include in the public art proposal, including price, pictures, contact information, volunteers, point people, who's going to be working on it, all the necessary information that you feel that you need to be able to take action on a project. Those guidelines will be published on our website. They'll be made widely available to any interested party. We can come up with some sort of application packet. We'll just make it really clear exactly how to submit a proposal. Slight aside, the HNA, in terms of developing these guidelines, the HNA can do it at the full body level, all 7 of you. You can delegate it to the existing ad hoc, or you could create another ad hoc to work on it separately and come back to you. And then back to their recommendation, on an annual basis, the HNA should also appoint a separate ad hoc committee. And their purpose will be to conduct public outreach for the coming year or fiscal year. I called it the Public Art Outreach Committee, but you could call it whatever you'd like. it will be responsible for drumming up interest in public art, various community circles, providing assistance to any community members that might like to make a public art proposal, or they could even, this was just an idea that was floated in the committee, maybe even hosting some sort of public art seminar.
Hmm.
But in summary, the committee has essentially recommended that the primary public art review pipeline would be to have a complete proposal submitted to H&A for review any amendments during your public meetings, and then H&A will determine whether or not to recommend the project to be taken to council for final review and approval. And just to clarify that these public art proposals can be submitted by members of the H&A, members of the public, any other community members, or community members that are assisted by members of H&A. And with that, I think I'm happy to answer any questions. That really summarizes the committee's recommendation, but please feel free to add on.
I just want to say thanks to Lee. Very good staff report. It reflects my interest in maintaining a lifeline with the community and having some input from the public. I think it's going to work. And as far as the actual ad hoc, I think it should be the whole commission versus ad hoc.
But I have a observation that, you know, the Public Art Committee, they were some professionals.
Yeah.
That they had galleries or they were very much in touch with artists, and it was their job. None of us, it's our job. I think it's important that some professionals were looking, if they are not in a committee, I mean, why would they, I mean, being in a committee, they think they're fulfilling their sort of duty or responsibility. Otherwise, what is the incentive that they even bring a proposal? Anyone can bring. I think it's important to have a committee that they said their mission is to find artists that are worthwhile to show in the community. And we have a volunteer group. I mean, I don't know why we should dissolve them.
I really see your point, and that was my point in hoping that this PASP would survive because of the resources that are
Yeah.
available from these professionals that would add more to the HNA. But unfortunately, with the, what do you call it? The standing rules and being a committee, that doesn't seem to work well. It's unfortunate. It would be nice if we could have a group without all that,
Aware of it.
all those rules, if you know what I mean.
But is
But
that
I think you made a very good point, and I think
But there is a
that's-
conflict if they existed.
Well,
Is that,
can I just
I'm
add-
not very.
can I just
aware of
add
some
to,
rules.
can I just add a comment also? I mean, I see your point also, Azita. I think, you know, clearly those individuals who have those contacts are
Mm.
still there. On the one hand, yes, there is some incentive to work as a committee. But I think on the other hand, you know, if we take the recent example of Judith, who was on PASS, but really took it upon herself to bring in a landscape
Yes.
here because, you know,
She
she
had a
believed in the project and she wanted the,
Contact
and she had the
was-
contact, exactly. And I think that it's okay for us as a body to approach you know, the individuals that you were referring to who had more art gallery contacts and ask them, you know, would you like to work with us to bring, you know, someone's work here or something like that? And then again, there is, you know, the incentive is to work with an artist to bring it to the town, you know, as part of a public art or project, and then ultimately to receive some recognition for that work as well.
Yes, but there was a committee. What is the disadvantage for their existence?
There's two people on the committee, Richard Rosen now, really, and Judith are the only two people who have been
Really?
active members
How
of the
about
committee.
Victoria and
Well,
Sandra?
Sandra is not part of it, but Victoria Miller once in a while sends me something that she thinks that it is good and interesting for public art, or she only sends it as a text to me,
So she's not in
which
the
I have,
committee.
but I don't think so. I really do agree with you. I wish we could have them be an entity on their own, and finding public art suitable in between themselves and get some sort of a program or something and bring it, offer it to us.
That's what I
But
thought.
how we can do that, I don't know. I have no idea. But I really do think that they have to be professional. Otherwise,
Yes, I think so.
can't ask
Otherwise,
just
any-
people bring something
Oh.
just like that.
Well, no, I think the bottom line is if you look at the three projects that we have done, right? We started with the mural, and that was essentially myself and one other
Ah.
person that ran with it from beginning to end. Likewise, the Thomas Jackson proposal, right? You ran with that.
Was not,
Yeah.
was
Yeah, Victoria
Victoria,
Miller
right.
brought it.
Victoria Miller.
No, but that was fine, but I mean, anybody can bring any artist to this body and then put together a proposal. So there's nothing that dissolving the PASP does to in any way deter, inhibit, or prevent anyone who has an interest in a particular artist or art form from bringing it forward and having us review it. The other thing that was more problematic than anything else is the fact that it seemed to be difficult to have that way of working when we've got the Brown Act. So that has been the biggest obstacle, because we cannot have violations of the Brown Act by creating subcommittees and committees when we can't interact with each other directly. This allows us to do that. And that's the biggest problem, is we couldn't work.
Okay, so there is some technicality.
Yes.
Yeah,
Somebody in the commission has got to be in charge of accepting these proposals and then bring it to everybody else.
well,
Again,
No, but anyone that has some ideas can bring it.
Right.
I
I mean,
think
it
that
doesn't
was,
have to be one person
Yeah.
appointed.
you see, with Bruce Monroe, Commissioner Fong introduced him to me, and I sat down and I talked with him. And I put him in contact with Richard Rosen to help him put the proposal together, what we were
Yeah.
looking for.
Whoever is the chair, I guess
You
the
see-
person that brings it would,
Yes,
the
it
chair,
is
yeah.
just too much work for us if we don't have any help from another.
yeah,
It can be a committee by themselves if we can somehow recognize them.
I mean, I think the guidelines also help to alleviate some of the work that would fall on us. I mean, I
Yeah.
know that in this case, Richard certainly did help with the proposal, but
Yeah.
if the guidelines are in place,
Mhm.
whoever that person is contacting at H&A can also, I mean, talk to them about it and work with them to make it better, I suppose, or make it, comply with the requirements of the guidelines. I mean, I feel like, at the end of the day, the other issue I think is meetings, I don't know how many times PASP actually met. I have no idea if they actually met as a body or not.
Oh, they used to.
oh, yeah, they used to, and we used to
Yes,
have
they
two
used to.
commissioners on a rotating
We were
basis
there
attending
also.
the
There
meeting.
were about 13 people.
But then it got
Yeah.
much more complicated with the Brown Act and having quorum, and then the bylaws and standing committee.
And those are,
and
and
all
those are, and those are things that we have to face as a reality, is the Brown Act is, it's here.
It is there, yeah.
But I think the idea is really essential. It enriched our commission with all these special people who really had a strong art professional art background, and they brought a lot of new ideas, even the fundraising. They had an actual art museum fundraiser come to
Well-
their meeting. So it was really,
Well, here's,
I think
here's
we
an
were
idea.
enriched by it, but
Yeah.
I think we need to look at some other format.
Well, here's an
as we-
idea. I mean,
So,
Victoria, listening to you, I was thinking maybe there's a way where, you know, a couple of times a year, we can have, and, you know, we can invite people that we
Well,
know
actually-
are involved or engaged to come to a meeting and to, you know, put some
Bring
of their
ideas.
thoughts, bring their ideas to the agenda. Yeah.
That's a good
and
idea.
actually, that was sort of in one of my proposal. I was hoping to sort of set up a committee that just kind of promote public art and more educational and a good sort of forum for sharing ideas. So I think we could work with that.
Yeah.
And can I jump in on the committee? Part of the ad hoc's recommendation was that you develop an ad hoc every single year with a rotating group of you to act as sort of the point person of somebody who might need a little bit of help. And before it actually comes to the full commission, that responsibility, part of that responsibility will also be going to these events and starting to plan some of the sorts of events that you might be talking about. And it kind of gives everybody an opportunity to do it. And speaking of the Brown Act, it also gives you the flexibility of attending, you know, other community events, which you wouldn't be able to do if it was continued being a standing committee. So part of their recommendation is to develop, and there's some flexibility there if, you know, it's an annual basis to try to give everybody a chance to do it, but that I think alleviates some of the concerns as well.
That's a good idea, yeah.
It is a good idea. So, in the past, they had brought us, a whole bunch of public art for us to see. But unfortunately, we didn't act on them as fast as they would have liked us to do. But there were some really good artists there.
The problem was, very simply, that we needed a body that was willing to do more than just bring us ideas. They needed to put together bona fide proposals that we could then act on.
Yes,
And so that was another big problem, is just like, here are all these ideas. Well, what are you going to do about them?
Well, I think they brought us the idea was of the general, trying to get our reaction. And so which one we like, we finally decided on Thomas Jackson. And that was what we focused on. All the other ideas, we decided not to as a commission.
Well, I would disagree with that, but the bottom line is on the Thomas Jackson, it was honestly because of Commissioner Gupta taking the initiative to
Oh,
put
I
together
agree.
this
I
proposal.
agree completely. And he did,
yeah.
and
Well,
I was
we're-
on the ad hoc and
to
called a
help.
meeting together.
Yeah, we're all here to help and get it
Which
off the
committee?
ground.
You were on it
So-
too, with Thomas Jackson.
Yes, no,
It
I
is-
thought that was a great,
No, that was just to say when you said they brought ideas and did nothing, kind of the implication. That's not true. They brought us an array of ideas. We
We
selected.
still have some.
or
We should,
select.
if we dig out, we can find those things that they were recommending.
And we can re-engage the
We
individuals.
can re-engage it.
also who
One
brought
of
them,
them
yeah.
was really fantastic. It was about the birds. The sound of the birds singing. I mean, it was really
That artist is
fascinating
well known,
artist.
a
And they-
MacArthur genius.
Yeah, they actually, we invited the artists to talk to us. They came and talked to us about how they did. If we can
That
dig
was
out those
really-
names, maybe we can go after them to see if. they
So I would
like-
make a motion at this time, as is recommended by the staff, that we take the action of dissolving the Public Art Selection Panel and following the recommendations that are contained in the staff report.
I second. Your motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. Thank you.
Um, So. Okay, we go to
Artist calendar.
the calendar, artist calendar. The artist calendar, I haven't talked to the artists upstairs to see what day, and to Richard, what day they want to come and pick up their work. But the next artist has got to be told what date that she can bring and hang. I can do all that, but I want obligations of all of us to say who's going to be there. I think it is July 9th, is that right? I don't have it on me.
Here the calendar is from January.
Yes, the next one is
July
9th.
9th is the reception. So it is on a Tuesday. They have to hang their work the week before, which is the week of July 4th. Is the town open on that Thursday or not?
Just gonna look at the calendar real quick. Is Thursday the 4th? It's not open Thursday the 4th.
no.
No.
So I have to talk to them maybe to do it, to hang it the week before, 4th of July. That's the end of June.
Staff is here on the 5th of July though, which is a Friday. We're closed to the public, but there will be people here.
There will be people here on 5th.
So the 5th, the Friday, the 5th is an option.
Okay, because we have two artists, one for downstairs and one for upstairs. I can have these remove their work at the end of June, before the end of June, the last week of June. They can come on Monday or a Tuesday. They can pick up their work, so it will be free. If they want to bring the new ones, if they want to bring it, then they can that week, hang it. And then the week of 4th of July is a holiday, and the week after is the 9th. We are going to have reception downstairs and upstairs on that Tuesday.
Are they
Um,
doing a joint reception?
Yeah, they both would be doing artist reception.
Just a question, for the following, receptions on November 5th, that's the election day. I know we had it here last year and people keep walking in, say, is this where I vote? But anyway, I don't know how people feel about that day, but it's okay with me.
What you mean?
Artist is going to be there showing.
You're saying that it's not a good thing.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to say that I have gotten two.
9th is the election day.
Election,
Is the election day?
yeah, November.
I would recommend
I bought.
moving that reception date.
Yes.
Yes,
For numerous
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah,
We want to encourage everyone to vote.
yeah. It's till 8 o'clock.
We're
the
often a vote
voting.
center,
Yeah.
sometimes, not all the time, but this has been used as a vote center. Some, they don't always need it, because it's not as big as some of the other ones, but we might be asked to be a vote center, so I would recommend.
Dropbox and-
There will almost certainly be a Dropbox here, but we used to be a polling place.
Yeah. We
Um,
used to come in here to vote.
You need to talk to her.
So September 3rd is.
yeah, we have to talk to the artist as well to make sure about her schedule. For the next, please, I bought 2 cases of wine, 1 case of white wine and 1 case of red wine. Now we have plenty of wine for our receptions. And we are asking them to bring their own foods for their receptions. So we will have a table downstairs for the downstairs artist and 1 upstairs.
But the artists, they bring their food or you?
Yes, all of them, they're supposed to do that, whatever they want. Because it is their reception, it's their party. So whatever they want to do it, but we just provide the drinks.
Chair, oh, sorry.
Oh,
Yes,
go ahead.
I was just going to add, I have spoken with Marta Wendlinger,
yes.
as recently as today. And I just wanted to note, we have September 3rd. She has September 3rd on her calendar for her reception. She will be requesting 2 additional receptions. She would like to have a closing reception and a weekend reception. I haven't seen that proposal come in yet, but that will be coming down the pipeline. So she'd like to have 3.
The third, are you open?
September 3rd?
Oh, September
Yes.
3rd. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the Tuesday after Labor Day.
Well, I guess we should allow them if they want to have it. Is she the one upstairs? I don't remember now.
Yes, she's upstairs.
She's upstairs. I think upstairs gallery is very quiet. It is just the opening reception. There's a lot of people, but during I've been coming here, making sure everything is in good shape. There's almost nobody.
Plenty of space.
That start a precedent that we should be prepared to honor. Is that a precedent if we give one artist 3 receptions, then shouldn't we be providing that to all?
I told Marta today that the general understanding is that H&A for their initial reception, usually the open reception, H&A provides wine. They're responsible for their own food. And I told Marta today that H&A is only going to provide wine for one.
One.
And she was totally understanding of that.
Thank you.
But
Leo.
also some staff has to be
Exactly.
here for
However,
every
yes,
reception. And
I
I
will-
think that's a little excessive
Yep.
to be here for
Thank
3
you,
receptions in
Lee.
1 month.
That's really good.
I let her know that she would need to submit her request to H&A because there would need to be somebody present at
Right.
the second night, the closing one, and whatever weekend she wants to do it on.
Yeah.
So that will be coming to you.
We have had receptions on the weekend, and one of the HNA members have to be here to close up, or,
And that's, yeah, and that's fine. If there's a volunteer that wants to do it, then it's certainly fine on our end, but
but
I
that's
haven't-
for that one reception that they decided to have it on the weekend because of their family or friends traveling. But I stand by with just one reception that we provide wine.
Yes, I think it would be good for her to have 2 receptions. Or Annalise was bringing her own group in the middle of her show.
Mm.
Any day she would bring them in, and usually there's nobody really upstairs, so.
Right. But
They
the,
can do that. We can tell them that you can bring your buyers anytime that you want. But as far as the receptions go,
the issue is if they're gonna want it on the weekend, who wants to volunteer to let them in and let them out? It's different if it's during the week and the building is open, that's not the issue. But I, for one, don't think it's appropriate for us to do, a weekend or a closing one, because and if we're gonna provide something, I think we've agreed, we're not gonna provide one except for one, right? But if they want to use the tables, who's gonna set them up? If they want to use the, all the paper goods, the glasses, all of that, because that can get expensive if you try to hire, rent them and bring them in. So- Exactly. So I just don't think, I think, Commissioner Farren makes a very good point. Do we want to set a precedent to say, oh, well, if somebody wants, maybe somebody wants 4 receptions, maybe they want, yeah, so we need to be clear as to what we're willing to do and what we're not willing to
Yeah,
do.
my point was just that for that one reception, we have done it on a weekend, but it was on a special request.
if she
So-
wants to have a closing reception, not necessarily will be in a weekend.
That's true. And what I've asked,
On a
and I had
Thursday
this,
evening,
I spoke with her just about this today.
yeah.
So I let her know that assuming we have a volunteer that's able to work, that's fine. I asked her to submit a written proposal to us, to what dates are you wanting, what time? How many are you wanting? So that will come back to you as a body at our next meeting. But I just wanted to let you know that it's coming.
Thanks.
Thank you.
If I'm around, I will do it always. I'm too close to here.
You are good, yes, you are always available.
Yeah, I'm always here, so
Shirley wants
if
to do-
worst comes to worst.
Loves it.
But the wine, what we are offering, it's only for one reception.
Right, yes.
They can do.
Right.
And then they can bring their as many as they want during the week. At any time, the gallery is open.
We can respond to her.
Yeah.
proposal.
Right. Yes. We should,
Okay.
yes, that's very good. And for the 9th, please. Would you like,
I'll be here.
you'll be
I can help
here,
you, yeah.
okay, you can help with the drinks
I think I'll come. I'm coming back
Yes.
on the 8th. So I'll
on the
be
9th.
The 9th.
That's the 9th. Oh,
I should
that's
be
good.
here. If I'm here, I will be here. And I'm
You.
generally here.
Yes, that's good, that's good.
Yeah, I'm here.
It's 9th of. July.
9th.
Yeah. Yes,
The time. is that?
because we have 2 reception, one upstairs and one
okay.
downstairs.
I'll be-
To 8, is that right? 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Yes,
Okay,
we have
I'll
to be here half an hour before, getting things ready.
Okay.
5:30, something like that. So we're good there.
Sure. With the catering.
All right, now we can do some discussions.
Bruce Palmer.
Bruce
Monroe.
Bruce
Bruce
Monroe.
Monroe. Sorry.
The Bruce Monroe discussion. And we had another uh,
What is the?
Zoom. with them, with Commissioner Arjun and myself and Richard Rosen with them. They gave us all the list. I asked them to put the list and send it to us. Your proposal, we'll go through it. Unfortunately, Scott couldn't be here today because he was traveling. But he said, please go ahead and take a look at it. So have you looked at it? Has everybody seen the proposal?
Yes.
Some
I've
have-
seen only the costs. I don't know what exactly is a
Yes,
proposal
I've
of
seen,
what.
also I looked
what
at.
items are gonna
didn't
be
get
8
that
concentric
email either, so I
circles.
don't have it in mind.
Yeah, I can describe.
Okay.
Yeah, I
What,
think Arjun is
um,
good with that. Please.
So his site location was for south of Knoll Park, south of the Knoll Park.
The same place as now.
Same place. And each element in his installation consists of a small, short, like stake or rod
Rod,
with a number of CDs,
3 CD.
3 CDs that are kind of branch out from them in different ways, like a kind of a tree, small tree. And these swivel on the rod. So when they catch the wind, they move, the CDs move. And the idea is that
And they catch the light.
the light, yeah, that's right. They catch the light and they reflect the light as they move. And there are, let's see, what did he say? 213 feet in diameter. They're concentric circles that he would arrange them in. And, you know, they might be a bit on the slope or a little bit on the, in the valley areas, you know. There are 4 concentric circles that are each 22 feet apart. And, so it's a large scale.
Is there a sort
Area.
of an image or something we could see?
There is an image and I'm sure, I think we had trouble getting it on this system, but I can share it with commissioners.
Yeah.
20, how many feet apart?
Each circle is 22 feet from the next concentric circle. but- Yeah,
8 of them.
no, four concentric circles.
Oh, this says.
And the
Oh, 8
artist,
concentric circles, okay.
the artist is British.
Yeah. And. are
Is
these
it from
things,
England?
The reusable, I
Y-
mean, are
yes.
these cards, or are they different color?
Can we have a look at it? please?
Could you pass this, please?
No, but like design is not in
there's-
here.
It is
His
not
idea-
there, but
yeah.
that is. his
Two different
work.
cost levels. One is for 4.
Right, one is for
That's
4,
the
one is
weight.
for 8.
Yeah, the lower amount, the upper amount's 8. It's significantly more cost. So we should maybe discuss feasibility.
Are
Well,
these-
the thing for me is that if he wants to put these so apart, it will be very hard to keep them under our control. Don't they put them next to each other
Yeah,
in
yeah.
one
It's
area?
on a circle.
It is on a
Yeah, it's just a
circle.
line, it's like a line,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
adjacent to each other, but
But
each
they are
line,
adjacent,
each circle
okay.
line is,
Okay,
each circle line is apart from the next circle of line.
yeah.
And,
the next
and
line.
he's able to get these 13,000 CDs.
Well,
Yes, he's asking maybe we could, we
Collecting
could get,
them or what?
collect old CDs and have.
Oh.
them.
cost saver,
Oh, the schools.
That doesn't have any
Yeah.
costs associated with.
Just ask
you know,
the public to bring their
CDs, yes.
wanted
Yeah.
CDs.
Those not
donate.
CDs.
My question is, so we've got
Yes,
$143,792 on the top, and then on the bottom, $56,896. So
can
that
you
adds-
talk on,
oh,
in the
Yeah,
microphone?
if you look at the two items on the proposal, the 143,792 and the 56,896.
that's right.
So those are based on the different number of windmills.
That's exactly right. The size and
Yeah.
the scope differs. One was proposed
Okay.
on April 29th.
Okay,
We
Hmm.
quickly said that we would need another proposal. And so he came back on May 9th
okay,
with a second kind of reduced proposal.
okay.
So that second proposal is what he's asking.
He's asking.
That's the one, I mean, he's put both of them on the table for us to consider, but one is clearly, in my opinion, exceeds our capabilities. The other, especially for a temporary project. And the other is, you know, a much more scaled down I mean, and I'm interested in his work, and I've been to his, you know, his thing in Paso Robles. My concern, though, is, you know, how long do we leave for concentric circles of, you know, thousands of 55,500 CDs, you know, in place, and how do we manage and maintain that area?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the grass is gonna grow. I mean, you know what I mean? Like they're short, they're not that high up. They're fairly short rod.
Are they secure? Like, could
Yeah.
someone, but could somebody walk off with them?
Someone could potentially walk off with them, I think, yeah.
What they want, why would anyone take them?
Art.
Is art.
They want it for their backyard to scare away the Blue Jays.
But the idea is for how long you would put them up?
I think that he's kind of left open as far as I remember. Is that right, Charlie? He didn't really.
He
say.
hasn't done before? He hasn't done any project?
I've
this-
done that before, yeah.
And so how, for how?
And then he was saying that they will be for sale. Somebody could buy it,
That's right.
that as a gift,
As a souvenir.
as a
of the-
souvenir.
Versus stealing.
You mean one of
Versus.
them?
Borrowing.
Versus. Right.
Instead of borrowing.
it.
We'll have our own little gift shop. Yeah.
But it is, for anybody who hasn't seen it live, his work live, it's just amazing.
Amazing work.
Yeah,
You
it's
have seen it
stunning.
live?
In San Robles,
Yeah.
Paso Robles.
The
Yeah.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, the
and
pictures.
yeah, people
see
go
it in
there.
mid-May.
It's beautiful at early dusk.
But
Because
you've
it's
seen-
light.
You have seen actual?
Yes.
You've seen
Yeah.
pictures?
Yes,
still
it's
up.
Oh.
yeah,
Is it,
It's
does
still
it look
up.
like this pictures?
yeah.
So can I just say something? I don't think it would be problematic to get the volunteers, and I appreciate the fact that he's given us a modified budget.
Yeah.
But I do have a question about corporate sponsors. What does that entail? Because it's $5,000, so we're looking at what? Well, I'm not
I think
asking.
that was his sort of suggestion, but I think between Bruce and Scott also
Okay,
that they know of, light manufacturers and so forth, people who might be interested in getting behind a project like this.
I see Scott was quite willing to do that.
Yeah. He was quite
So,
willing to get.
We
some
did
money.
ask him, please ask Mauro to maybe make it a little bit smaller. So it will bring down the price and the cost of it. So
the-
he is talking with him.
So the 56,000 for the second proposal is really for 4 concentric circles, and the
right.
upper one is for 8. My only disappointment is that I like lights. I know it's not fair to other residents in the area, but I wish they were lights instead of CD in some
Yes.
way.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true. And I think the other concern that I have with CDs is we don't really know what the environmental impact of having thousands of flashing CDs in one space
They might get,
might create a potential problem with migratory birds or
or
the
they,
birds that live
I did
here.
bring that up, remember? I did bring it up and asked them. They said, no, it has nothing to do with birds. It won't do it. And the light is only during the daytime that
Mm.
there's a lot of light. Otherwise,
it might be
they
really
don't
pretty.
show up at
Ah,
It
nighttime.
might be very pretty with moonlight, because that's what I
Mm.
love from my house, being able to see the water and the
Right.
moon.
So,
So it could work.
Tom,
this,
you'll have
in
to
the
speak
interest of
to
time,
the Thomas.
because we can't really speculate on every different permutation, but I think what we need to do is get a proposal that really gives us pictures of what it's gonna look like
Yes,
and everything we
I
need.
agree, yes.
Everything, yeah.
I agree.
And a photograph or some sort of rendition
Or a sketch.
sketch, yeah.
But he had sent that. I think Lee put it on what he was showing. We looked at
CDs?
it last time. That's what it will look like
With CDs?
with the measurements and everything.
what he showed us.
Right.
How we saw it.
He put it here.
She put something else.
That was something
That
else.
was kind of more of a general
Right.
discussion of his work.
Oh, that
The
was,
Specifics of this project, we saw only.
oh, okay, that would be good to bring it
Yeah.
to the commission.
But in a format that is an actual proposal.
Yeah.
And so we can, I'm happy to talk to Scott about that. And he can communicate with Bruce.
And one thing to consider is, we were so lucky with our weather, but Carl the fog creeps in May and is very windy and very foggy. So would that affect the light on the CDs? Is there a better time? Like in October, it's very rarely foggy like it is in
Yeah.
June and windy.
Mhm.
So,
I think we kind of mentioned that to him
yeah.
when we were talking. Maybe right now we should talk to Scott Yu and give our report to him and have him create another proposal, a more doable proposal. And they know that it is too expensive for us. We can't raise that kind
no,
of
no.
money.
No, but I do really like the idea of having people volunteer with their CDs, because that would be a real
Yes,
community, people
he's
raise.
asking
yeah,
community.
Kids would love it.
yeah,
Schools, yeah.
Cycle.
The recycling and so on. It's really a wonderful project. It will be.
And then the artwork that he proposes is his own artwork that he would donate for purposes of raising money?
Yes,
Okay,
we'll donate it and maybe, yeah, to donors. And the artwork itself,
so
it
then,
can be,
Arjun, you're gonna follow up with him then? To get a
Yes.
more
we will,
fleshed out proposal, yes, thank you.
yeah.
If I may, Vice Chair, as part of your proposal designing, if he could include some information about the light impacts,
Yeah.
I do think that
Yes.
will be a factor.
And you know, I did ask him directly, the artist, if in England he had undertaken any environmental impact studies, or if anybody had ever asked him to do that, and they hadn't. And I know that he had done
No.
some work on the National Trust properties there also, and public lands, which are, you know, the rambling lands of England or whatever. So I'm not sure, but I think we need to really look at that in terms of, you know, also a cost on our side potentially as well, because, you know, if you want somebody to do a study like that, it's gonna cost. us.
Well, I'm not even thinking about environmental, I'm just thinking about glare impacts on the people that live nearby
Oh,
as well.
I don't think they're large enough to glare like that.
You said they are short, so when they are
We're
short,
like,
it
you
won't
know,
be.
CDs are very small. But just imagine, I don't think they will really be that drastic. I was even worried about,
You're gonna get some reflection.
there will be some, well, that is the purpose,
yes.
right? For
I mean,
everyone
it's
to
the
see
play
it.
on light.
We don't want boats from Sausalito to veer off course or whatever.
Airplanes flying in,
Yeah, I
be
know.
distracted.
Yeah, sending the wrong signal.
I asked him about
Aliens.
bird
Birds
migration.
crashing into each other.
Migratory fowls.
I really like the idea. It's a
Migration.
new concept, and I think it's good for the town. At least I want to go forward with it for the commission. The 55,000 CDs, great participation, just as Nora has said. And I think we could probably, I would like corporate sponsors to be a little more generous than.
Yes,
us.
that is what we insisted to Scott Yu,
Mhm.
that without the money that he can bring into the commission, otherwise,
Be a little more aggressive on the development side.
yeah.
We'll call Sony or was it
Well, I
Vivendi
think-
or whoever owns them now?
Well, whoever made the CDs,
Yeah.
now that they're all going to, you know, trash
Right.
landfills,
Yeah.
they should be chipping in.
Or
Exactly.
like Best Buy, they might,
yeah.
donate some.
He was ready to
What are the-
mail them to us
Yeah, but
from
what,
England. Can you imagine how much we have to pay for that?
for the
No,
shipping.
no.
I just
We're
have a-
talking about people giving them to us.
Yeah, they're
Yes,
Yeah.
discards. you know.
Yeah.
A lot of.
What are the windmills? Is that what you're calling the stake?
That's exactly right.
So we have to be careful. We charge, what is it, 1,000, 100 for one? So if somebody,
yeah, $150, 200 maybe.
But somebody might also see a CD that they like and take the CD. I mean, you know,
Won't
if I
have
was,
any
if I was a high schooler, I don't know, you know, I mean,
Okay, here's a question. Who has a CD player?
good point.
I still do, I still do.
It's just,
And
I know,
use it
but very few.
On
people.
occasion.
Young people don't have, young people.
Young
don't.
people don't even know what it.
download.
It's good for talking
I have so many, but I don't want to get rid of them though.
Anyway, in the interest of time,
Time.
can we move along?
So we need
Yeah.
more information.
Maybe,
I'll go back to
Okay, we'll-
Scott and Bruce, and I think the environment,
Yes,
the
we will
the
get
light impact
Right.
in that area is something that needs to be explored also. Yes, I agree with Lee on that. Definitely.
Okay. All right,
Calendar.
it looks like we are good for today, huh?
Mhm.
July is a,
Now for the calendar
I won't be here.
for next month.
Next month I'm here, but July I'm not here.
Yes, for next month, it has been cancelled because
this
it is time for vacations. But the next one would be Tuesday, July 23rd.
And if I can jump in, Chair,
Yes.
so we had discussed the potential for a special meeting. I think we sort of questioned whether or not rescheduling our June meeting, we would be looking at dates within the next 2 weeks, and we've got a lot of follow-ups from this meeting. So there is maybe potential for having a special meeting early July if we need one, and also dependent on Scott Hughes' schedule too. So I think leaving a little flexibility for maybe rescheduling a meeting if
We could if
his
we
schedule
need to.
requires it.
Yes, if we need to, we can have a special.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah. Let's talk to Scott Yu and see if he has something new.
Yeah.
Or something like that. We can have a short one. Yeah. If we really go ahead with it, we have to start collecting those CDs before they get into dumps. Because nowadays people clean up.
Yeah.
I think it would be really wonderful. I think.
Are we adjourning?
Yes, so the next meeting is July 23rd. That's the official meeting. Now is the adjournment.
Thank you.
You.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank